Hello, everyone. Let's set the mood. What song are y'all feeling, y'all? I don't even know what song I'm feeling. I want to play a KATSEYE song just because, like, that's the vibe, you know? We're fucking with KATSEYE right now. So let's play a KATSEYE song. Pinky Up? No, I'm not feeling Pinky Up right now. You know what? I think I'm feeling. We should do things my way out. Mama's mad cause I stayed up. Sneaking out trying to find some. Picking up with what's wrong with me. Oh, never wanna do what I'm told. Even if I mess it all up and make a million mistakes. At least I can say that I did it my way. Yep, that's My Way by KATSEYE. So I know this title of this video is really aggressive, but I wanted to be clear about how I wanted it to come off, and I wanted it to somehow relate of how dramatic and intense the situation has been in between the fans and Hypex Geffen and KATSEYE and the group, everything. I wanted it to be dramatic and capture you because that's how it feels being in the audience of KATSEYE. It involves real people, and then it also involves online fabrication, and they both supply to this multitude of things, and I want to talk about that. But hi, my name is Maliki. Welcome to my Bed Talk. We're back, episode 3, where I talk about music, love, heartbreak, pop culture topics, music, things that I love. And I kind of wanted to start making stuff about things I love. So I love KATSEYE, so I want to talk about KATSEYE in a brief and still informative way, but still somewhere I like it, you know? So let's start with the group itself. KATSEYE is a group that was originated, I believe, in 2023 through a Netflix series called Dream Academy or Popstar Academy. It premiered on 1st of September 2023. This was the initial making of the group Dreamscape. If you know, you know. If you know, you know, you know. But there were 120,000 global submissions, with 20 contestants participating in a rigorous training program, which consisted of dancing technique, heel dancing, and a lot of other different things. I believe like hip hop classes and then vocal lessons. I remember those moments being really cool to see. This later sprung the 6 girls we know now to be in the group, honestly. So let's introduce these girls. Members include Mana, from Switzerland. Manon, Manon from Switzerland. I can't even say Switzerland. Manon from Switzerland, Sophia from the Philippines, Daniela from USA, of course, Lara from the US, Megan from the US, and Yunche from South Korea. I believe Lara, Daniela, and Megan are not from just the US, but these girls were handpicked by the public through the game show that they didn't know was really a game show until it got sprung on them. It comprised of several missions, and along with the training, there was a separate part of it where there was missions where the girls had to prove to the public that they were the one that needed to be chosen to be in this sixth girl group, girl group, and essentially the group. There was different groups in within the 20 contestants. I don't really remember if it was full 20. That I feel like they had maybe around 20 that were like even competed, but I don't know. But basically, they had missions that revolved around their star power, around their technique, their dance technique, how they performed, how they sounded while performing, breath control. Like I said, star power is what really is another big one. And they had songs from popular artists like La Seraphim, Demi Lovato, and just to name a few. I believe they had a Blackpink one in there too, where they were just performing other people's songs, other K-pop idol songs, just to see if they were appropriate to be in this girl group that was already being made off of K-pop ideology. So it kind of made sense. Um, but even at the towards the end of the missions, they were making original music, and one of my favorite songs by them is Dirty Water, which is one of the finalist songs, I believe. And it was really good. I love Dirty Water so much. But yeah, that is the origin and the base of Cat's Eye. They were made up of one or two. They were made up of 20 girls, and they were in a room in a house, together, growing together, blood, sweat, and tears together in this climate where they had to grow and grow and grow in 1 to 2 years to be in a girl group that was going to be in the face in the main stage of the whole world. The whole world. And they broke their backs and their knees and everything, blood, sweat, and tears to get where they are today. That being said, the finalists were the six we know now, and they became a hit. Like, it just became one of the biggest things in girl group history. I believe they are definitely the modern take on a girl group since Blackpink. Honestly, they are at the forefront of girl group pop music right now, in a way we've never seen before. After all that, they debuted a new single called Debut, right? Ironic. And they also premiered a new album called Sis, which stood for Soft is Strong, where they had songs like Touch, My Way, and Debut, the single. Those songs are what created their own lane, per se, and also is what we got introduced to them as, just because that is it. Very bubblegum pop, very cutesy, very bubblegum pop cutesy. That's the vibe that they were going for in the moment, and it was really cute. It paid off. And these songs were they did pretty well. Touch doing very well on TikTok, and one of their biggest songs. And what I found them out, that those debut in Touch are what made Cat's Eye. Like, they are what made Cat's Eye, and I don't care. Like, them two songs, I remember like seeing the music video for Debut vaguely through scrolling, and then I can remember um Touch being in my ear a lot, but I didn't know who it was. I just like K-pop music, so I was just like, okay, this sounds good, but I didn't know who it was, and then I later found out it was Cat Eye. But I don't really remember seeing the Touch music video that much, but I do remember seeing like the debut music video a lot. But yeah, Touch is one of their biggest songs. Did really well. I would say Touch is definitely what made them a name for themselves. And then probably one of their biggest songs and what made them successful and stamped them in what we know them as now. The group took a break and they came back and released Beautiful Chaos, which released on the 27th of June 2025. This is where the group took a serious turn, where they were influenced by their team, their label was trying to push a different sound where it was more Latin influence, more grunge, more techno pop, hyper pop type of sound with gnarly Game Boy's pop, but that was what they were going for. They were going for a Beautiful Chaos type of sound where it sounded. Those songs do not sound similar at all, but the title is what pulls them together. If that makes sense. Gnarly really what made them mainstream, and honestly, Gnarly, it was their downfall in terms of their music quality, because before Gnarly, the girls had a very they had a sound, but it wasn't like people weren't making, for lack of a better word, people weren't shitting on their music. Okay, I wasn't a fan, so I couldn't really tell you, but I do know that like Gnarly, I became a fan during Gnarly. Okay, so being introduced to them with that is very different than I would have assumed being introduced to them with Sis era. I was introduced to them with Gnarly era and Beautiful Chaos era, so I can't really tell you how I felt in the moment because I wasn't there. But I can tell you how I felt between Gnarly era, which is Beautiful Chaos era, and Pinky Up era, which is the era we're in currently. But we'll be back to that. But Gnarly became one of their biggest songs. They even performed it at freaking the Grammys. So they got a Grammy. They didn't get a Grammy, but they got nominated for a Grammy for Best New Artist. So they really stamped themselves with this Beautiful Chaos era in a way we've never seen before by a modern day girl group. So there's that. Don't talk too much about them because they do have some accolades that we don't acknowledge just because. But and they also made two other songs, Gabriella and Game Boy, that are genuinely two of their best songs, if not one and two their best songs to date. Right. Then it didn't take very long for them to release another single called Internet Girl, which released on the 2nd of January 2026 this year. This song was surprise release while the group was on their tour, their first tour, where this song had very different reviews, very split reviews, I would say. And it was the internet was not grilling for the internet girl. Okay, we were not really living for that song. I love Internet Girl, but when I say I don't really listen to it that much, I really don't listen to Internet Girl that much. So, but very hyper pop, techno pop, a little bit like rocky, a little bit in some portions of the song. But what really kicked people off of the train, because people really like when they performed it, but whenever they heard the song initially, there's a baby voice in the song that we were not prepared for, and I got accustomed to it because I forced myself to like stuff. I'm not gonna lie. But if I like the artist enough, I will listen to the art, and yeah, that's kind of what my thoughts about that is. But I kind of just kind of forced myself to like that song because I want to support them and I love them. So I was just like, you know what? That's not gonna deter me from listening to the song because of that is in it. You know, like I don't really like it that much, that part, but the rest of the song is good, so I'm gonna listen to it. Right. So, the song did very well on the charts. It debuted at number 29 on the charts, I believe. And that's very good. But online would tell you very differently. The song sucks and it's the worst of the day. And yeah, I believe a lot of what saved the song was the dance, and a lot of what saved the song is the hype around the tour, and they just put themselves in good positions to be successful, honestly. And it had the good kind of rage baity lyrics that Gnarly had, a little bit like childish in a sense where it's like it appeals to kids, and kids are the ones listening to music nowadays. So I mean, we see how Big Guy by Ice Spice is doing very well, but who was listening to that? Children, not grown adults, are not listening to it. I listen to it from time to time because but I wouldn't say the average person listens to that. So like, hey, or an adult, like an actual adult. I'm an adult, but like I'm not an actual adult. You know, I'm not. I'm a 20-year-old adult. I'm still a child here. So that's why I love SpongeBob. Okay, next. Next topic. Um, So through the years, through all of those eras, I believe from 2023 to around 2025 when this started happening, the biggest issue with this group is that no one was able to stay consistent for a long period of time, where the girls, there was one missing all of the time. During their initial era, sis, I believe Megan was on hiatus for one point of it. Then there's periods within their group at the time as a group where Mana is gone too. Like, she's sick or gone. There's periods where there's just, they took their turns, and I feel like the only two that ever stayed consistent and never really went on any type of break is Sophia and Yunche. I've never seen them two do anything, and maybe Lara. Lara, she's always there, but the other, and Daniela, really the only two that I've seen gone from anything, and like I actually seen it, is Megan and Mana. But other than that, the rest of the girls are there. But that is a lot of their detriment, and that alone separates and divides this fandom so easily, and it really creates a negative outlook of how people are interpreting this group. It is making the fandom divided, and it's making the group be looked at differently, and it honestly makes people not really pay attention to the group or take the group seriously in a way that they should. And that's just that. I don't know what that comes from, but it just comes from that. And what's really crazy is my pinky is up for 6. My pinky is down for 5. KATSEYE is 6. KATSEYE is 6 people. KATSEYE is 6 girls. And that goes into our next section. April 9th, 2026, Pinky Up drops. And the discourse was similar to Internet Girl, where people really didn't receive it well, and it was split reviews. People either hated it, loved it, and what really saved the song is the dance. And later it was the music video and the visuals, but before any of this happened, before Pinky Up even dropped, what really stopped up this launch was the split. What really stopped this launch was the hiatus. Mana decided to go on hiatus on 20 February 2026, where there was a statement put out in her regard that stated she will be going on a temporary hiatus due to health and well-being. We don't believe that. We don't believe that. I don't believe that. And now we're going to go back to Dream Academy, right? Now I'm going to get adjusted in my seat because now it's about to get good. So, you're telling me, right? You're telling me during Dream Academy, there was 20 girls, right? And you're in a house full of women. Girls, not women, girls, where you are being picked and prodded at, you're being held to an expectation, you've never had any type of experience in dance or music before in your life. This large company with large amounts of money and power comes out of nowhere, and a representative texts you on social media and says, we have an opportunity for you to come to our training program and become one of the biggest pop stars of all time. Would you like that opportunity? Mana says no. She says no. And they still wanted her. So she goes, and that was one of the best and worst decisions I feel like she's ever made. And I don't know her, and I don't do the parasocial relationships like that, but I bet that's one of the biggest and worst choices she probably feel like she's ever made in her life because of what she's going through currently right now. During Dream Academy, she was labeled as lazy. She was labeled as not a hard worker, not really worth anything, and she can't do anything, and she was labeled as someone that didn't deserve to be in the group when there was other anyways. um but she was able to prove herself, even though she wanted to take time to be, when she was sick, she would sit out and be sick. She wasn't going to be Sophia and still work when she was sick. And you can't expect women to do that. You can't accept girls. You can't accept anybody to do that. If I'm sick, no, actually, you know what? I'm more of a Sophia, so I would probably still try to work. I don't want to be held by anything. I don't want anything to hold my performance. So I'm probably going to take the Sophia route. But you can't blame anybody for wanting to go home because they're sick. Anyways, just the whole overall experience that Manon had as a trainee in this training program was very detrimental to her, because it would soon and later carry to the outside of this group in the program in Dream Academy itself and become something that she's labeled as in real life. And honestly, it's stupid. The people that call her that and the people that do this suck. But not only all of that, put that aside, there are somehow some racist and there are some things being said. There's rumors that there is some type of discrimination, not discrimination, but just some mistreatment because of her color. And there's no clear thing. I don't like rumors. There's no clear thing of who it is, Hype, Geffen, whoever, who's trying to keep her in the group, who's trying to keep her out of the group, who doesn't care about her, who doesn't. It don't matter. They're all together, and this is all not their fault. This is all they're doing. This is all they're doing. And we can't try to separate Hype x Geffen. It's Hype and Geffen. That's the label. So we can't just be like, oh, it's Hype that wants her. No, it's Geffen that wants her. No, it's Geffen that doesn't want her. No, like, that's dumb, because they're together, and the making of this group is from Hype and X Geffen. They are together. So to try to separate them and divide them is crazy. For y'all to divide the group is crazy. For y'all to divide Mana and Lara and separate the girls from each other. And this is similar to what happened with Harmony, but maybe even worse. Like, this might be worse than what happens with Harmony, because with Harmony, let's not get into that, because that's a whole different that's a whole different thing. But yeah, this is just getting crazy. My thing about this is, why try to get a girl, from Switzerland that initially told you, no, I don't want to be a part of this group. Receive her before you even received her. You sent training people out there to get her, right? And then you bring her back, put her in a room full of girls that don't like her. You label her as lazy and not really done enough to be in the group. Send her out of the world and get her with that same laziness thing, and not really try to change the narrative at all as a company. She soon or later becomes one of the biggest girls in the group. She's the most followed, and she's the visual of the group. You lead with that, and then somehow treat her poorly? Somehow treat her badly? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. Then to put her on a temporary hiatus that she says herself she's very healthy, and she's not really doing that. She gets on Coachella. Forgot to point that out. She gets on Coachella, a Coachella stage with Pink Panthers, dancing her little butt off, raving in the section. Raving in the section. And she's still on hiatus. This was in April. Mind you, April. And she's on hiatus still. So I want to know, why would you do all of this? Try to kick her out of the group. And then, what was this for? What was this for? I want to know. What did you do this for? Why is this mistreatment happening to Mana? I don't understand it. Because if I be fucking damn if I would go out of my way to go to Japan, get a man, and then bring him all the way back here and treat him poorly. That don't make sense. Not only that, y'all sent people out there to get her. That's more money. Brought her back. More money. did the training, more money, then kick her out of the group, risking more money. Like, it don't make sense. I don't see anything. I don't see the issue. I don't know what she's done behind the scenes. I don't know what any of the girls done behind the scenes, and they're trying to say the girls are fine. They're trying to say Missy did this. It's too much. But yeah, I just really, to close this all, I just want the best for the girls. I want the best for Mana, Missy, Hybex, Geffen, everybody. I hope this all goes correctly. I hope she either gets out of the contract and goes somewhere else, or I don't know. I hope something happen, because I feel bad for everybody in this situation. If she leave Hybex, Geffen, they boycotting KATSEYE. They gonna boycott it. I'm not gonna boycott KATSEYE. I still listen to Pinky Up. Pinky Up. Pinky Up. Pinky Up. I still love Pinky Up, but they gonna boycott it. They gonna boycott it. That's not funny. They gonna boycott you. They gonna boycott it though. Cause but KATSEYE, last time I checked, Pinky Up had like 23 million views, so the girls ain't boycotting like they said they was, because 23 million views is a lot. And I listen to it, so I don't care about boycotting, but the girls still listening to it, so we gonna see. Gonna see what happens next. There's rumors that she's coming back. Then there's rumors she's never coming back. Then there's just a lot of rumors in the air, and we'll see what happens. But thank you for watching my video. It's kind of all over the place, but that's kind of who I am as a person, so I hope you liked it. I hope you liked it. I'm just crazy. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I hope you liked the video. Thank you so much. And I want to put a meme here. Okay, bye. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on another episode later.